My name is Linh. I graduate from DePaul University with a master's degree in computer science, but I just started doing computer science over, I think, 2.5 years because I didn't have bachelor in computer science. So I moved from business to tech, so which is like completely different thing. So I think I joined ICAway probably toward, I think the beginning of April, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So it's mainly because I wasn't able to find a job. It was very difficult, especially for
Uh-huh.
international students. I received a, an email from Google.
Mhm.
They just start sending me an online assessment for me to do. And after that online assessment, I think about 2 weeks later, I received an email from a recruiter. They said apparently for some reason, um, my online assessment score came out decent enough that I was able to skip the phone interview and going straight to the final round, which is the virtual onsite. So I was skipping the whole process in the middle. So that saved a lot of time. And the recruiter reached out to me, said, kind of detailing all the steps that I need to take. And I think that they also sent me a study guide, which is it is a lot. I think it's like 3 pages study guide,
Uh-huh.
which is like it's just detailing what they potentially gonna ask. It's not even like the algorithm itself. I think I write everything down. The algorithm and everything is like 10 pages for all the material I need to study. So I was like, I cannot study this within like 2 weeks. So I asked them to push back for a month. So on May 27 is when I have my virtual onsite with Google. I think I have 4 interview, 3 technical and 1 behavior. The technical, I really have to do it by myself. But one thing is really help is the behavior. So I use ICO a lot during that time for my behavior to kind of practice everything,
Uh-huh.
practicing to make sure that you speak very cohesively, to make sure that your point get across. And then I think what I learned from all of these is kind of get a story attached to it. It's just not like tasks and everything. It's have to be like a story with emotions. That's what I learned after I kind of practice all this. I think it's the best way for me. So I think the reason why I fail Amazon is probably because I answer very robotic throughout the situations.
That time
And
you didn't use the content in module 6
I
yet,
did not.
right?
No, I didn't reach there yet. I think I was
Uh-huh.
just stuck at the first couple of modules.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I didn't really convey any emotions. Everything just sounds very robotic. And I think that's probably why I failed. And in retrospective, it makes sense. So what kind of really helped me was like the module 6 with like the behavior because I know that's what I'm lacking. So yeah, after that, it's just kind of detailing. I think I have four or 5 pages detailing whatever I've been doing throughout my journey and what projects is relevant to the job descriptions and kind of attach a story and what happened in between. Also embezzling like I kind of make it a little bit more flashy than supposed to be.
It's
And
like
just
easier to understand and capture the essence of your
yeah,
story.
yeah. And especially with like your own emotions and thought, I think that's really important to
Yes.
kind of convey to the interviewer.
Mhm.
So about 10 days later, on a Tuesday, I was just getting up and everything. I received an email from Google like, congratulations, you passed the hiring committee. And moving on to team matching. And team matching is it's a hit or miss. I think I also told you that. It's a hit or miss. You either get the team very early or you don't. And I was like, okay, it's not, at least I make it through the hardest part, the technical part. The only thing left is for me to kind of prove myself to the team or finding a team that um, have my interest. So with everything, my recruiter put my resume onto the internal profile. And I think the next day I have like 3 interview with the hiring manager, which is a very quick turnover. And then less than a week later, I signed a contract with Google.
Awesome. And actually, you got altogether 2 job offers from 2 companies, just that one of them
Yes.
is Google.
Yes. So actually, I have 3.
You have 3,
I have,
and everything just happened so fast. You started with me in April, and you
yeah.
started getting interviews on, and the first offer came in May, right? This
Yeah.
interview with Google also came in May. So
Yeah.
within that month.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's a lot happening back
I
then.
know.
And then again, interview with Amazon it's happened in April.
Yeah,
That interview with Amazon happened in April. So there's a lot been
great.
happening.
Great. So all those big tech companies, they love your resume.
Mhm. I still have several companies that have getting back to me ever since I got the offer from Google. It's weird because before Google contacted me, I received nothing. Like I no company whatsoever. And as soon as I got something set up, all the companies start emailing me about like, hey, we saw your resume. We want to interview you. And that's just going on and on. I think it's 4 or 5 by now. And
Great.
one from Amazon again.
Awesome. That happened right after you got the resume from ICAway.
Yeah. Having those guidelines of what is your relevant skill and comparing it with the job descriptions actually helps a lot.
That's great. Can you summarize a little bit? What have been your key takeaways from being part of ICAway? What is the key things that you learned from the program?
I really from everything, I honestly learned that networking is very important because after I kind of get the information for the on-site at Google, I have to reach out to several of my friends and they connect me with other Googler that help me do my technical mock-up.
Perfect.
So that's why I think networking is very important to kind of reach out to everyone who's like, hey, I have this opportunity. I don't know anyone in the company. Do you happen to know it? And usually they would say yes. And in my experience, I just have to email them and say, hey, I applying for this positions at Google. I got to on-site. What is your experience in prepping it? And in my experience, I reached out to 3 of them, and all 3 of them agreed to do my mock interview without me asking. So a lot of people are very, very nice about this because they know how hard it is. So I think it's very important to kind of just go ahead and do networking, even if you don't know them. So I think it's really important. I think I have more interview response after I got the ICAway resume. Due to the templates, I know exactly how many. I forgot a lot of the projects I have done until like I see the templates and I really have to dig deep into whatever I have done. And I was like, oh, I have more experience than I thought I did. So, and all of them are projects. I don't really have any real experience.
Right. And that's the purpose of the exercise that you went through in module 5, selling point finder, right? So that you can map with the job requirements to see what kind of experience that you can highlight for your new resume.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think I found like 3 or 4 more projects that I completely forgot. So that's why I expanded from 50 to 100 and got 20 lining up.
Perfect. And recruiters also reach out to you without you applying for jobs too, right?
Yes. So even now, when I don't put my LinkedIn to open to hire, I think on average, I still have like 2 or 3 people reaching out for me per couple of days. I would say like 2 or 3
per
days.
day.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. As soon as I get something settled down, everything's just like flooding in.
So from the program, you got a new resume, a new LinkedIn profile, and all of this draw jobs to you and also give you more response rate from the job that you apply for.
Yes, they did. Yes.
And you have better skills.
Yeah.
Go
for
ahead.
me, it's quite significant amount of changes.
Again,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
Are you excited about starting your new job? Is it in like a month from now?
Yes, so I will start
Okay.
on August 1st. Hopefully I can find an apartment by then.
Uh-huh.
My manager is very nice. I think the day that I signed the contract to join that team, my
Mhm.
manager was very excited. So he told um, one of the coworker or my future coworker, and they emailed me congratulating me joining the team. So it's very sweet.
Wow. So cool. Yeah, this is a happy moment for me too as a coach.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think it's still very much a real experience for me. I'm not sure how I get here.
Because you deserve it.
Oh, thank you.